From Batman Platinum Edition first appearance figure, let us move the review to Azrael Batman Armor, Knight's End. So these are the codes and numbers if you're looking for this action figure at your local Target. As for accessories, handheld items, this action figure does not come with any. Change of handsets, this action figure does not come with any. The only item or items that actually really matter with this action figure are going to be these pieces of attachment points to the shoulder area, which makes him a very different looking action figure, a Azrael action figure. So the thing that really defines him, not the handsets or handheld accessories. Okay, so let us do a quick 360 view of the action figure so we could take a look at the details without these things hindering the details of the action figure, but we're going to attach this later on. Okay, so we have rubbery pieces of plastic that extends and hyper extends as you move the arm, so it's not going to break. As for color, well, it's going to depend on the collector if you wish to repaint that or just retain it as is. So some would even go to the point of repainting that, but for me personally, I'm already okay with how the action figure looks. So let's go to articulation points. Okay, so let's take a look at the details and articulation points of this action figure. So this is the details on the head sculpt, up close and personal. Okay, so head tilts side by side, possible. Actually, that's a lot. Head tilts looking up, head tilts looking down. Details on the front of the armor, details on the back of the armor, details on the arms and the fists. So sometimes fists like this, that's a welcome thing for me personally, because sometimes if the figure comes with a semi open hand like this, it looks kind of weird sometimes when you pose it. But fists, they are okay with whatever pose that you put an action figure in, especially one that does not come or does not need any form of handheld accessories. Okay, so details on this rubbery piece that runs from the forearm to the back. So nice and clean paint. Okay, so for articulation of the arms, so because of this piece, 360 turns, it's going to be quite a task, but I think it's possible. I already did it off cam and actually, yep, it's possible. T-poses, yes. So how are the articulation points when you move them up, down? Well, it's nice and buttery, is not stiff, even if we have really thick paint on this area. So the color is the same on the body and on the arms and on the connection pieces. Okay, and even on the shade, take a note of the shade, that's the same color. So well job, Mcfarlane, except for the color on the armor versus the belt. So this is more on yellow leather, it's not yellow armor. Okay, so that makes for a logical explanation to why is this not as shiny as that. Okay, so moving towards the articulation on the diaphragm on the waist. Okay, So if you hold on to this gray area, there's still going to be articulation down there. Okay, so backwards tilts, forward tilts, and this section is made of soft rubbery plastic, so bending it forward, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so moving towards the legs, so this is the details on the legs, scallops, the foot or the shoes or boots, whatever you want to call them. So we still have texture. Okay, so well, very pretty obvious. 2 points of articulation on the knee, a hinge and rocker for the foot, and toe articulation. Okay, so nicely done action figure. Execution in paint form and in articulation points, 10 out of 10 personally for me. Okay, so let's take a look at the attachment pieces. So just a representative of the whole group. So that is the details. Okay, so we're ready to attach these accessories to the action figure. So that is going to be the attachment point, and it's going to latch on those areas. So sample size of 1 of 6, so these two things are going to attach to those 2 points. So actually when you peg them in, there's not going to be articulation, so you won't be able to spread these pieces out, but it's possible if you X-Acto knife this portion of these wing accessories. So if you cut that off, this, so that's going to be a pivoting point wherein you could play all 6 pieces accordingly. So you could, or possibly even just the outer pieces, have the 2 sections just straight on the back this way, but the outer section could be moved. I think that's going to be a good idea. Okay, but let's try first the Mcfarlane Toys recommended thing. So let's attach all of this and let me show you guys how it looks. Okay, so this is how the action figure looks with those attachment points. Okay, so let's do a 360 turn or view of the action figure. So it renders the top part of the figure really heavy, so balancing is a must. So the usage of your Mcfarlane Toys stand is something that you're really going to use with this action figure. Well, the same thing with caped action figures, especially the ones that come from Mcfarlane Toys that have rubber capes or rubbery capes. So as to aesthetic value, once you attach those wing accessory, they really ups the image of the action figure, giving it that super wow effect. So yeah, if you missed the first version that Mcfarlane Toys put out with the rubber cape, then this is a welcome addition to your collection. If you want an Azrael Batman and missed out on the first one that Mcfarlane put out. Okay, so instead of comparing this Azrael Batman with another armored variant of Batman, I brought out my first appearance Batman action figure. So 2 variants of the first appearance Batman action figure, the Detective Comics number 27, and 2 variants of the Azrael Batman action figure. So both of these figures are Platinum Edition. So it's going to be a choice for you guys who which variants or which Batman you're going to choose. But personally, I took the route of the Platinum Edition, this version, and the Platinum Edition of Azrael. I can't buy 4 figures of the same kind because it's just silly. So I'm just going to pick the action figures that really tickles my fancy. So of course the better one, the one with the blue linered cape, and I just took out the panel lining and did a little bit of improvements. And this also has a separate video or video review of its own. Okay, so it's not just going to be Mcfarlane Batman action figures out there right now. It's also the Superman Ghost of Zod something. So there's also a series of action figures from Mcfarlane Toys on that line. But personally, looking at those action figures, I skipped on it and just concentrated on these two. Of course, I just don't want to go over my budget. So anyway, I already have a armored version of Superman that I kit bashed, and this one is something that I like and I play with this, so why get those variants from Mcfarlane Toys. But with this, these are action figures that I still don't have in my collection. So another Azrael figure is welcome in my collection, and first edition or first appearance. So that is my line of reasoning when I do my purchases. I just don't pick up random stuff and then suffer the consequences of paying later on because overstretched credit card. So I'm avoiding that. So I already learned my lesson before, and just applying how I purchase things right now. So just picking the things that really I want and I'm happy to have in my collection, instead of picking things and then later on regretting buying them or paying for them. Okay, so that ends my review for Knights and Azrael action figure. I hope you guys did see all of the details, articulation points, and if you already have seen this, so it helps you to make a decision whether to purchase 1, to purchase 2, or to purchase 4. That's good to go as long as you're happy and you're not overstretching your credit card bills. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.